Hola chicos, welcome to week 2. If you're seeing this video, you've completed the lessons prior, and so you've probably read my update and figured out that we've had to change plans a little bit because we're going to be out a little bit longer than we foresaw before. So what you had figured out and read from the update is I want you to complete the activities sequentially. And, I've pushed back the brochure. You don't even need to touch the brochure right now because if you can't do the folleto, the brochure, until you understand these concepts. So I made it so on purpose you have to complete certain things and get a high enough score in order to be able to start the outline on your brochure because you can't do it unless you understand how to express obligation and the commands in Spanish. So just to update, I've updated the instructions and lessons for 3 weeks now because that's most likely what it's going to be. And so last week you guys checked your crossword puzzle on the vocabulary and you completed the lessons and comprehension check on phrases of obligation. So you should know how to express like what you have to do, what you should do, what is necessary, what is important. So this week you guys are going to work on the commands. And if you were in class the day before we left for the quarantine days, you got this graphic organizer. If not, everything is in the folder. And we did a really quick lesson on it, but I'm going to go through it again. This week, you're also going to complete a reading on chocolate, a little practice reading. And then you're going to start the outline for your brochure. And then I'm going to explain the instructions on how to complete the outline and the instructions for the brochure in another video. So today we're going to do the command lesson. And so you've completed phrases of obligation, so you should be able to open up this folder. That's where this video is. Like I said before, here are the instructions for how to complete this stuff. So you're going to read over the graphic organizer for forming commands, watch additional videos for further explanation. I have links again to practice activities, and then I have a couple of practice activities that you're going to have to submit for feedback. And then you're going to do another comprehension check for me before you can move on to the brochure. And again, as always, additional practice is on our class Quizlet. So if you were in class on that Friday before we left, you guys got this graphic organizer. If not, here it is for you to download for your notes. So, and if you were here, we went through this really, really quickly on how to form the command. So first of all, what is a command? A command is telling somebody what to do, like talk, stand up, sit down, eat better, eat less junk food, drink more water, sleep better. Those are commands. So, and when we mean by affirmative commands, we're commanding someone to do something, not to not do something. That's a negative command, and we don't do those in Spanish too. So if you got the hard copy of this, the negative commands are on the other side. We're not going to do that. We're just doing the affirmative commands. So again, feel free to pause this video anytime you want to fill out your own. I know the answers are on the next page, but it's better for you to actually write it down. It helps with your memory. So how do we form an affirmative to command? What do we mean by to? We're commanding one singular person, you. You sit down, you stand up, okay? They're also called informal commands because we're not commanding like your boss, your teacher, or someone of authority. To is like a friend, somebody you know. So how do we form the affirmative to command? Well, you're going to start with the yo form of the verb, okay? Start at the to form of the verb. So, for example, if the verb was hablar, you go to hables or hablas. Then you drop the S. Okay, so that works for most verbs if they're AR verbs or ER verbs. But it doesn't work for IR verbs because, for example, if you have escribir, you get escribis. No, that's not how it'd work. So the easiest way to say it would be just use the LA usted form of the verb, okay? So, for example, if the verb was hablar, you would go to hablas or habla, okay? Another method that a lot of people use is just take off the R. You can just take off the R too. But again, that doesn't work for the IR verbs. So just go to the LAO usted form of the verb. That is the easiest way to form the affirmative command. Pronouns. For us, that would be like the reflexive pronouns. Me, te, se, nos, os, se. Pronouns are attached to the affirmative commands. So, for example, if the verb was, if I want to tell somebody to wake up, despertarse. What's the LA form? Despierta. And remember, these are two commands, so you're always going to use te. So the command for someone to wake up would be despiértate. You attach it to the end of the command. So if it's an affirmative, attach and add accent. Don't worry about that. We're not going to worry about that. Okay. So as always, there are some irregulars, and there's a little phrase to help us remember them. Say Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. Okay. And so these are the irregular verbs in the affirmative commands. Ser, to be. Venir, to come. Decir, to say or to tell. Salir, to leave. Hacer, to do or to make. Tener, to have. Ir, to go. And poner is to put or place. This is just what they mean. This is a review of what these verbs mean. And they have irregular formations. Ser would be se. Venir, ven. Decir, di. Salir, sal. Hacer, haz. Tener, ten. Ir, ve. Poner, pon. And remember, you can use this phrase to help you remember them. So, se, ven, di, sal, haz, ten, ve, pon. Se Vin Diesel as 10 vepon. And that's how we can remember the irregular affirmative to commands. So what does say mean? If it's to be, it's like be. So for example, sé más simpático. Be more nice. Ven would be come. Ven aquí, come here. Ven aquí. Decir is di. So that would be commanding to say something. Di la verdad. Tell the truth. Sal would be to leave. So that would be telling someone to leave. Sal, sala, leave the room. Sal tu dormitorio, leave your bedroom. Sal la casa, leave the house. Haz would be commanding someone to do or make something. So, haz la tarea, do your homework. Haz la tarea. Ten would be commanding someone to have. Ten un buen día, have a good day. Ve, telling someone to go. We usually command someone, vete, go, vete. And lastly, pon. We're commanding someone to put or place something. Por ejemplo, pon la mesa, which would be like to set the table. So these are the irregulars. Se, ven, di, sal, haz, ten, ve, pon. And remember, for regular verbs, all you got to do is go to the LA usted form of the verb. So commands are really easy to form. So here's the little practice activity. Those are the answers. So you have a little practice activity that you can do right here to form your affirmative to commands. So for example, número uno, abrir la ventana. So we're going to be commanding someone to open the door. So abrir is an IR verb. Remember the easy step, just use the LA usted of the form. So form of the verb. So if you go to the LA usted form of the verb, you get abre la ventana. Okay. Número dos es, decir la verdad. We're commanding someone to tell the truth. Remember, decir is one of the irregulars. So it's say, ven, di. So it's just di la verdad. Tell the truth. Número tres, comprar el boleto. Comprar is a regular verb, so you just go to the LA usted form of the verb. Or remember, with the AR and the ER verbs, all you technically have to do is take off the R. So how would we tell someone to buy the ticket? We would say, compra el boleto. Número cuatro, salir con amigos. Right off the bat, I'm recognizing salir is one of the irregulars. Ven, di, sal. So our command would be for to leave with friends, and commanding someone to leave with your friends would be sal con amigos. So you guys get the gist of it. You can do the rest by yourself and of course check your answers right here. And that's how you form the affirmative to command. So when you've gotten your graphic organizer done and you viewed it and downloaded it and watched this video, I have 2 additional videos for you guys right here to do where you can, again, watch a different form of this lesson on how to form the affirmative to commands. And the second video is just on those irregulars, the se, wenn, die, soll, as, ten, weapon. Okay, just like you have, so right here is a link to some to the website Conjuguemos, where you guys can do some practice activities on just forming the affirmative to commands. You can do guided practice, flashcards, and even games. So the guided practice is good because, again, it's going to give you an explanation of the concept all over again. So just ignore the ones that are negative, though. You know, just skip those because we're not doing the negative commands. We're just going to do the affirmative commands. So once you've done some practice activities, don't forget on our Quizlet, we also have flashcards for the commands that you can practice. And when you're ready, you can go on to the 3 practice activities. So, and again, feel free to pause this video anytime you want and then come back to it because I'm going to explain the instructions and give you some examples for each of these. So, unos consejos. What are we going to do in this activity? In this one, we have a chart with 6 situations. Quiero bajar de peso. Remember, new vocab, bajar de peso significa to lose weight. So this person says, I want to lose weight. Número 2, siempre estoy cansado. I am always tired. Número 3, quiero ponerme en forma. New vocab, remember, I want to get in shape. Número 4, tengo diabetes. I have diabetes. Número 5, quiero subir de peso. That's our new vocab right there. I want to gain weight. I don't know why anyone would say that. Maybe our athletes, but they want to gain some weight. Y número 6, siempre estoy deshidrato. I'm always dehydrated. So our instructions are, escribe 2 mandatos afirmativos para esas situaciones. I want you to write 2 affirmative commands for each of these situations. So let's do the first one together, and then you'll submit the rest for feedback by yourself. So if you want to lose weight, what should I command someone to do if they want to lose weight? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is to eat less junk food. Eat less junk food. So our verb to eat, comer. And remember, to form the affirmative command, all we have to do is go to the el, ella, usted form of the verb. So the el, ella, usted form of the verb comer would just be come. Come less, menos junk food, comida basura. There's one. All right, what's another command for someone who wants to lose weight? We got eat less junk food, do more exercise, right? So hacer is our verb for to do exercise. Hacer ejercicio. Hacer is one of the irregulars. Ven, di, se, ven, di, sol, as is our command for hacer. So do, I want to do more. Do hacer más ejercicio. So those are my 2 affirmative commands for somebody who wants to lose weight. Come menos comida basura, haz más ejercicio. So you guys can do the rest on your own and submit it on Schoology. Once you've completed this activity, then you'll be, and I've checked your work, you'll be able to go on to una encuesta. So in this activity, you're going to read una encuesta. Una encuesta is a survey that Hugo did. Hugo fue al doctor. He went to the doctor y completó esta encuesta sobre sus hábitos. So he completed this about his habits. So you're going to read it, and then you're going to give me 4 affirmative commands of what Hugo should do to improve his health. So let's read it together. So nombre, Hugo Martínez García. Fecha de nacimiento. So es el 20 de septiembre de 1984. Peso, that's his weight. Altura, his height. Lugar de nacimiento, that's where he was born. Fuma, What is fuma? Sí or no? Fuma means, does he smoke? And he said, sí. ¿Cuántas bebidas alcohólicas? That is a cognate. So how many alcoholic drinks does he drink each week? 10 a 12. Oh, that is not good. ¿Cuánto ejercicio usted hace? So how much exercise does he do? And what activities does he do? ¿Tiene un trabajo activo? Does he have an active job? So it says, soy un poco perezoso or lazy. Camino por el parque aproximadamente 10 minutos cada semana. So he's walking through the park at 10 minutes each day. Nunca practicó deportes. He never practices sports. Me gusta navegar por internet y ver televisión en mi sofá. Well, that's not good because he's sitting on the couch surfing the web and watching TV. Mi trabajo no es activo. Soy banquero y usa mi computadora mucho en mi trabajo. So he's doing a lot of stuff sitting down. ¿Cuál es su comida preferida? ¿Cuáles son sus hábitos de comer? So what are his eating habits and what food does he prefer? Las papas fritas y las hamburguesas dobles, double, con queso son mis favoritas. Las como mucho. We know that that's not good because we have lots of grasa y sal. Siempre tomo refrescos porque no me gusta el agua. Me encantan las frutas. He loves fruit, pero no me gustan las verduras. Meriendo. Remember, merienda is a snack, so he made it a verb. So he eats a snack por la mañana, por la tarde, y por la noche. Nunca. He never almuerzo porque no tengo hambre al mediodía. So he doesn't eat lunch because he's not hungry during at noon. ¿Y cuánto duerme usted? How much does he sleep? No mucho. Hago mis quehaceres, those are your chores, hasta la medianoche. Oh my gosh, so he's doing his chores until midnight. Después veo televisión. Even after that, he's watching TV. Típicamente me acuesto, he goes to bed, muy tarde a la 1:45 y me levanto, he wakes up a las 6:45. So he needs to work on some stuff. So we're going to write 4 commands. We're going to do one together, and then you're going to submit 3 more for me for feedback. So I'm going to start with this thing where he says he smokes. He shouldn't be smoking. So remember, it's got to be affirmative commands, not negative commands. So we're going to tell him to smoke less. So the verb is an AR verb, fumar. Remember, to form the command, we just go to the LA usted form of the verb. So that would be fuma. And we're going to tell him to smoke less. Fuma menos. There you go. There's a lot of things you can think of to command him about. His drinking habits, how much he exercises, what he's eating, how much he's not sleeping. So give me 3 more affirmative commands. Submit your answers on Schoology on what Hugo needs to do to improve. Mejorar his salud. Okay? So the next and the last activity is just a practice chart you guys are going to do, just practicing forming those 2 commands. And it looks like this. So you're just going to give me the affirmative to command for these verbs. So for example, bailar, easy verb, regular verb. So remember, just go to the LA usted form of the verb. So it would be baila. Okay? Be careful with the reflexive verbs. We're going to do one of these together. So remember, to form the command for the, we go to the LA usted. Ignore the say, right? Ignore the say. It's an AR verb, so it would just be levanta. But what do we do with the pronoun? Remember, we attach it, and it's reflexive. So what are our reflexive pronouns? Me, te. Remember, these are 2 commands, so the pronoun is always going to be te. And we just smack it right on the end. So levanta te. Oh, you've seen that before. You've heard me say that in class. Levántate, get up. So when you do dormirse, be careful about placing that pronoun on the affirmative command. So you guys will do these, submit your answers on Schoology for feedback. You're just practicing forming the commands. And then lastly, like you did with the expressions, expressing obligation, you're going to do a quick comprehension check for me. Don't do this until you're ready. Do the Quizlet. Do these practice activities. Make sure you're really familiar with forming the commands before you do the comprehension check, because I want you to score at least a 12. I think there's 15, 12 out of 15 correctly before you can move on. Okay, so that's the mandatos. So this is what I really want you working on in this week too. And when we're done with mandatos, if you finish early, then you are okay to move on to the brochure. And later this week, I will be posting a video with really more in-depth instructions on how to complete the mandatos. Oh, never mind. Before you do that, you're going to do the practice reading. I'm sorry, on La Historia de Chocolate. And I'll post another video where I explain the practice reading. You're gonna do your answers. You're gonna read it, answer the questions, but really you only need to submit the last question to me, the personal question. I'm just gonna post the answers for you guys to check on Sunday the 29th. Okay, so as always, feel free to send me an email, send me a message through Schoology if you're confused on any of these things. Make sure you're checking your work. If you're not getting enough correct on the activities, you can't move on. So as soon as you do it, I'm going to do my best to grade them, and you guys can go back, check the feedback, and move on with the lesson. All right, chicos, stay safe, stay healthy. I miss you. Adios.